Hey guys, what is up? And I've been using the Oneplus 6 pretty much ever since it launched. Personally, I think this is one of the best all-around phones for the price. It's got a great camera, a great screen. Basically, there's really no major downside to it, obviously besides the pretty bad speaker on the bottom, but besides that, it's a pretty good all-around phone. And I've had about 2 months or so since I bought it, and in that time, I've downloaded all of my apps, I've set up all of my widgets, and overall, I've just got my phone set up the way I would with pretty much any brand new phone, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to basically just take you guys through my phone, show you what apps I use, and just show you how I have my phone set up. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video. So starting things off, I first want to talk about the launcher I'm using, which is Nova Launcher Prime. It's about $5, but you can customize pretty much anything, and the reason I prefer this over the stock OnePlus launcher, even though I really like the stock OnePlus launcher, really is mainly customization. I like being able to customize my phone any way I want, and with the OnePlus launcher, you're kind of limited in that way, so that's why I'm using Nova Launcher. And by the way, if you guys are interested in the settings I've got for Nova Launcher, I'll make sure to leave them in the description down below. Now right off the bat, you could probably tell that I try to keep my phone pretty clean. You know, I only want to have the apps on my first page that I use most frequently. So as you can see, I've also gone for more or less of a stock look, so it's similar to the stock launcher on the Pixel phones. But just my main go-to apps on my first page include the Google Messages app, the dialer, of course Google Chrome, YouTube, and of course the camera app. Besides that, I've also got a Zooper widget at the top of my screen right here, and I'll make sure to leave settings for that as well. And finally, the wallpaper is from the Resplash app, which I actually got a few questions on before, and I had trouble finding the exact wallpaper I found here because I got it quite a while ago, but it's from the Resplash app, and there's also a ton of other super high quality wallpapers from that app as well. Now swiping over to the second page, you can see there's a bit more going on here. We've got my Gmail widget at the top of the screen, just so I can see any new emails that are coming in. Right below that, I've got a live subscriber count widget that updates when I tap here. And I gotta take a second to thank you guys for that because we just recently surpassed 30,000 subscribers, which is honestly absolutely incredible, and it's all thanks to you guys. So I was considering doing a giveaway, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that. If you really want to see me do a giveaway, I could maybe organize something, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. And once again, thank you guys so much for 30,000 subscribers. Moving on, down here we've got my most used apps, or I guess second to most used apps besides the one on the first page. I've got a folder just for any games that I download on my phone. I don't really have that many, but if I download one, it's going to go into that folder. Moving on, we've got Today Weather, which is definitely my go-to weather app. I really like it because it gives you a lot more information than the stock weather app. It's also very simple, it's clean, and what's nice about it is you can actually choose what service provides the data, so whether it's like AccuWeather or another service. Moving on, we've got the stock gallery app. We've got Nordvpn, which is my go-to VPN service. It's cross-platform, which is great, so when I want to have a VPN on any of my devices, I can just download that. I've also got a new app that I recently came across called Google Podcasts, which I featured in my last Top Android Apps video. I really like it because it's simple to use. It does lack some common features on other podcast apps, but it's simple to use and it syncs up across all of my devices. Of course, we've got the essentials like Amazon Prime Video, and Sling TV, which is a live TV streaming service. I've also got Duolingo, which I should probably start using more, but I haven't really gotten around to it. Google Docs, another essential, and all my social media stuff down here, as well as Spotify, which is my primary music streaming service. For notes, I use this next app called Google Keep. Like most Google apps, it syncs up across all your devices. And of course, more essentials like the Google Maps app, as well as the Discord app, which I occasionally use. Swiping over here to the far left, we've got the Nova Google Companion app. It's actually an APK you have to download from Nova Launcher's website, but it gives you that familiar Google Now page where it shows you any new updated stories or news or whatever that you want. You can customize it so it'll only show you certain things. I don't really use it that often, but occasionally I'll check it out just to see what's going on. And honestly, that's pretty much it for the main apps I use. I do have some other apps that I use, like the DJI Go app, Dashlane for password management. Of course, apps like Drive, those aren't very exciting, but you get the idea. So most of the main apps I use are on my home screens, but if I swipe up on my app drawer, you can see here are any other apps that I might use. Basically, I try to keep my phone pretty clean. I try to avoid downloading too many apps that I'm not going to use. Now, before I wrap this up, because this is a OnePlus phone, there are a few different settings you can customize just to make your phone a little bit more personal, and that's one of the reasons I really like OnePlus phones. So I'm just going to take you guys into the settings real quick, show you some different things I've customized, starting out with the gestures. I've set up a few different gestures in here. We've got 3-finger screenshot. You can swipe down with 3 fingers, and just like that, it'll capture a screenshot. It'll basically keep scrolling and capture everything on that entire page. I've got a couple other gestures set down here. We've got draw an O on the screen when your phone's asleep, which will turn on the flashlight, and draw a V, which will launch the camera app. Over here, we've got a couple other things I've set. We've got over in display, I've set the screen calibration to be sRGB. It's a little bit more warm than the default setting, and I prefer that overall. It is maybe a little bit too warm, but overall, I think it looks pretty good. I've also set the theme to dark, and this is an AMOLED display, meaning whenever you've got something black on the screen, it's going to help you conserve a little bit of extra power, so that's nice. And I've got this accent color set to brown, which I think goes nicely with my dark color scheme. And the very last thing I've got set and I've customized is I've actually set my phone to use gestures instead of the navigation bar. Now on OnePlus phones, you can actually set it to use like iPhone 10-like gestures instead of a navigation bar. I simply prefer it just because it gives me a little bit of extra screen space. So instead of having that navigation bar taking up everything, I can just swipe up from the bottom of the screen to go home, and I can swipe up and hold to go to recent apps. If I swipe from the bottom left of the screen or bottom right, I can go back. And honestly, the animations aren't very clean. They're not very smooth. So I'd like OnePlus to maybe fix those. But besides that, I like it just to have that little extra bit of screen space. That's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, if you did, make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a giveaway on the channel. But with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.